Welcome, Internet, and everyone out there wondering when will Sis and Bob Big Pops return? Well, we've returned to episode 39.
Yay!
And I am Todd Turner, also known as Big Pops. And as always, my co-host, lovely co-host, is Hannah Jo Turner.
Hi, sweet friends. I'm Hannah Jo, a.k.a. Sis, and together we are an adult daughter and father duo. Goodness. We dive into all things geek, nerd, and fandom. Every episode is family friendly.
It's been 5 weeks. We took a little break, a little hiatus. We've had a lot going on in our lives, and it's been good to just take a little bit of break.
We're glad to be back, though.
We are. I mean, I got a call from those HBO executives wondering, what the heck?
I did have a friend come up and was like, hey, are you and your dad still doing the podcast? I'm all caught up now. I'm like, yes, we are. Oh,
we are.
Yay,
it's just
people like it.
We're taking a break. You got to do that to refocus. I got so bummed out when one of my favorite podcasts took a break for 2 months. I was like, when's this happening?
But, and we didn't even tell people it was on accident.
I know. So there you go. But that's what happens when we control the airwaves. Wait, is this even in the airwaves? Or digital? The digital highway. When we are the policemen of the digital highway.
I'm sorry, my brain just went like blah, 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 blah.
Well, Hannah, lay it down. What do we got going on?
Yeah, friends. So if you're new around here, perhaps we've been gone so long you've forgotten. We are going to do a bunch of different lovely things today. We're going to start off talking about some nerd news.
Nerd news.
Lovely. What's that from? What movie is that from?
I don't know.
What a Girl Wants. What a Girl Wants with Amanda Bynes.
That was a very good movie. You guys talk about that a lot.
That movie bops, Dad. That movie's phenomenal.
We're doing nerd news. What else are we doing?
Nerd news, what we're binging. Dad has a pull list for us. We haven't conversed about what this pull list is going to be like. Maybe it's just going to be his favorites over the past month. Maybe it's going to be his favorites this week. We'll see. I don't know. It's a treat for me. It's a treat for you. We're all in the dark.
We're all treated.
We're all treated today. And then we're going to be talking about the first trade of Descender, Book 1, Tin Man. And we're going to be talking about Season 1 of Ted Lasso, the Amazon Plus original.
No,
Amazon,
TV
Apple.
Plus.
Both of them started with A, excuse me on that. Apple Plus.
I gotcha. Yep, Apple Plus TV. Apple TV Plus.
Anyway. Yeah.
Let's get right into it. The typewriter has been so cold because we haven't done nerd news. I don't even know what's news. So let's just hit what we want to talk about over the last year. No, I'm just kidding. Last little bit. Go ahead, Hannah.
Didn't know that there was going to be a Hawkeye TV show.
Oh, where have you been?
I'm under a rock, apparently. But yeah, there's going to be a Hawkeye TV show. And Amanda Seyfried, wrong. What Amanda? Haley.
You got Amanda Bynes on the
I
brain.
am losing my brain.
Yes, Haley.
I like her.
Yes.
I like her as an actor and a singer. She was in
True Grit. That was where I thought I first saw her in the True Grit.
She also sings songs.
She
also was in
the book,
Pitch Perfect.
She was in Ender's Game, wasn't she? That no one liked the movie.
I never saw it.
Oh, I liked it. I think
I own it.
But anyway, she's going to be
one of the 10 DVDs I own.
Bishop, I believe, is the character.
That is
she's
her
one
character.
of the characters that was in that Young Avengers comic book series that I used to have and sold and was now they're $1 bazillion.
But I'm really excited about that. I think the premise, I think it's going to be good.
I think they're killing off Hawkeye.
Oh man, let him see his family. Let him get home.
Or that'll be what it is. He just disappears forever and he's back in some ranch in central Kentucky.
Just let that poor man rest. Let him rest.
Well, because the ending of The Black Widow, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shoot dang.
So there you go. Here's an interesting piece of news. I don't know if you know this or not, but of course, Eternals is coming out.
Yes. Stoked about it.
And it is the second longest Marvel movie to date. 1 hour.
Shorter than...
No. It is shorter only than Endgame.
Dang.
156 minutes.
Do you know, I'm here.
2 hours and 36 minutes
Well, the
long.
amount of lore that they, and world building they have
That's what I'm thinking. They have to build a whole lot. Yeah. So that's going to be long. I hope that it's not a drudge. I like the Eternals. I've collected the comic books. A lot of people don't even know who they are, but it's, yeah, the Deviants and the Defiants, however you want to pronounce their name, and the Eternals. We'll see. I think this is going to have a lot to do with the High Evolutionary. We may get talks of mutants in this and all that kind of stuff, but everybody thinks that, right? Right?
Yes. I have a bit of personal news.
Go ahead, personal. Do it.
I finished WandaVision.
Oh, well, holy cow. That's not okay.
That's
binging,
news.
That goes into binging.
Okay.
So yeah, we'll get there when we do it. But
Fine.
Thank goodness it's about flipping time.
Fine. The Fantastic Beasts 3 movie finally has a release date.
I've never
April
seen
15th.
the first two.
They're not good. Here's the thing. The first one is good. The second one was dumb.
So is this like a Harry Potter spinoff?
This is a
Or
Harry Potter
prequel?
prequel.
So this is the one where they got rid of Johnny Depp,
Yeah.
which I think was ridiculous.
Well,
But anyway,
I am uneducated to be able to tell you if that was or was not a smart move.
gotcha.
Because I wasn't. Yeah, I don't know. But I mean, here's the thing. I will see it.
Gotcha.
I will
have
see
no
it.
intent. I've never watched anything Harry Potter.
I will watch all of them.
I gotcha.
And,
Now they're all on. Wait, aren't all Harry Potters on like HBO Max now?
and here's the thing. I watch every Harry Potter movie in order every December.
Christmas? Which Christmas movies? I don't understand that either.
They're not Christmas movies. It's just a college tradition.
Oh, this has nothing to do with that, but I guess it's news. This weekend, so this will drop on Thursday. So I believe Friday is the James Bond movie, the last Daniel Craig James Bond movie. I think I'm going to go back and watch all of his run as James Bond before that movie comes out. Your mom actually said she wanted to go see it. So
Trev and I are going to go see it.
awesome.
He's seen none of them. He's seen none of those James Bond movies. He's like, let's go watch this movie. I'm like,
He should watch the other ones. Gosh, that's terrible. Especially
I'm like, okay.
Skyfall. Skyfall.
Skyfall. I haven't seen the
then the
newest
next one.
one. Not the
really?
one that's getting ready to
Spectre?
release. I didn't watch Spectre.
Oh, I watched
Maybe
it.
I did. Is
Yeah,
Spectre
that
the
was the
one with
one-
the guy with the weird face?
His face gets scarred at the end. Yeah. It's
Or am I
Christoph
thinking
Waltz.
Skyfall still?
Skyfall is the one where the guy pulls the thing
Pulls
out of
his
his mouth,
face
and
out?
it's like he pulls his teeth and stuff out.
He pulls
because
his face off, Dad.
He doesn't pull his face off.
He
His
doesn't. He
face is
pulls
still
bones
there.
out of his
It gets
face and then
all
his-
saggy.
You're right. I'm wrong. I'm wrong. You're right.
Okay. So this came out like last week or week before last.
Okay.
The Mario animated film.
I'm stoked about it.
Was this in your news?
No, but I'm so
Yeah.
glad you brought it up.
Chris Pratt as
Chris Pratt is gonna and Anna
Mario.
Taylor-Joy. Mm-hmm. You know her because we watched Emma.
That was. I think that's Nate's a crush. I think he said that because she was Magic in the New Mutants, if I'm not mistaken.
Was she?
I think so.
She was. She's in Queen's Gambit, which is a popular Netflix.
Oh,
limited
that's
series.
that's the chess thing.
And she was Emma in the
Yeah, and I'm
newly
pretty sure-
released Emma.
I'm pretty sure she
She's
was
a pretty
Magic
lady.
in the New Mutants. Yeah. Speaking of pretty ladies in the Marvel movie, Scarlett Johansson came to a we're
Settlement.
all cool now. Yeah, right. And look forward to further productions with Marvel or whatever. So
Well, she's going to be in Sing 2.
is that Marvel?
That's not Disney.
That's not Disney.
Not at all Disney.
I don't
but-
even know who does it, but I like Sing. So yeah. You got any more? I got a couple more.
I didn't know there was a Furiosa prequel.
I love that Mad Max movie. Did you watch it?
I loved we watched it together.
Okay.
Because you explained things to me that it made no sense. That movie made no sense.
I gotcha. Yeah. The first, I saw that.
It's coming out in
for it.
2024, which sounds like forever, but is only 3 years away. Not even
Listen,
2.5 years away.
The time's just flying by. It's crazy.
What are the 2020s? Really and truly. What are they?
We history book.
We don't know. We don't know, man.
Book material. So this is an interesting thing.
Okay.
There, you know about the Make-A-Wish Foundation.
Yes.
So
most people do. I would guess.
I would say so, right? So there is a 12-year-old boy named Booker who has a disease called, I'm going to mispronounce it. It's Schwandam diamond disease. It's an endocrine disease, and it's genetic, extremely rare.
Okay.
It has to, anyway, his wish was to have a stop action motion Batman short with toys.
And so he's making it?
He got hooked up with this group called it's a stop action motion people called Reckless Abandonment.
That's so
and
cool.
they created a stop action Batman short. You can see it on YouTube called We Are Batman, and it uses only toys. So it uses like some Legos. It has first they asked him, who are your favorite superheroes? He said Batman, Robin, Wonder Woman, Joker, Harley Quinn. So it is basically Harley Quinn and the Joker. The cool part is, how we have that Uno Attacks game where you press the button and it shoots. So it's got like cards in it, and the Joker hops on top of it and it shoots cards out of this Uno Attack thing at Wonder Woman. And so they use all these figures, and and Harley Quinn's there, and like Batman and Robin, Superman. And the whole thing ends. Do you remember how in the Lego movie we watched it, and it ends and the dad and the son are playing with the toys?
Yes.
So it ends with Booker and his dad playing with the toys. So it is so cool.
Tears down my face.
It's just like 2 minutes long. It's a really short, but it's called We Are Batman on YouTube. You should watch it. Okay. And if not,
We Are Batman.
Donate to a charity.
Oh, yeah.
Make-A-Wish Foundation's a good one. I would prefer you donate to New Song Counseling, but that's just because my wife runs that. But anyway, yeah. You got anything else? I'm stretching.
No.
Okay.
There was a first look of Disenchanted, but I didn't watch it.
I haven't watched it. I did see where the Book of Boba Fett is dropping December 29th.
Okay, love that.
And this is a piece of news really important to me.
Okay.
Apparently, there was a different ending to the movie Zoolander. Didn't know.
The OG or Zoolander 2?
The OG Zoolander. And it was like a tragic, dark ending. Like he tries to stop a train or a bus with the what is it called? Magnum steel or whatever, the look. You know the look.
And he goes...
And he gets crushed. Yes. So there was no him saving the Malaysia prime minister from throwing stars and then creating the Derek Zoolander School for children who
don't
really
learn
want to
good.
learn better and can't learn good or want to learn better.
Like,
Yeah. Anyway.
don't learn
Yeah.
good, something like that.
Yeah.
Oh,
So that was
no.
Yeah. So
That's really
I found that out this week. I'm so glad the other ending was there. I think I would have been like, what? So yeah.
I'm not okay. That's really funny and also sad.
It is funny and sad. All right, Hannah, let's get into the binging. What are you binging?
Man, Dad, I've seen so many things since we talked last. Recently,
Highlights.
highlights. I finally finished WandaVision.
What'd you think?
It was what I expected would happen. What I expected would happen happened. New Agatha Harkness was a turd nugget. Cool thing, she is, how like it has like Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party and like Disney. In Disneyland, you can meet her.
Really?
Until Halloween.
Does she look young? Like
she like looks like how you would see Agatha Harkness, like in the
not the old one.
In WandaVision, like in
Gotcha.
like in that like purple dress with like the black
Right.
fingertips.
Gotcha.
Like, that's what she looks like. So I watched that. I watched the Wild Thornberrys movie. Do you remember?
Okay, what'd you watch that on?
It's Amazon.
We can tell everybody.
Amazon.
You're guessing. Okay.
I'm guessing.
I love the Wild Thornsberry movie. I love the Wild Thornsberries.
Do you remember watching that when I was a child?
I don't remember watching it as a family, but I do remember watching it. I just don't remember.
Man,
we got the
We have the
soundtrack.
DVD.
Do we have the DVD?
We have the DVD of the Wild Thornberry movie because I begged Mom to buy it in Meyer when we were visiting Mimi, and we watched it in Mimi's house.
We had the music.
It was phenomenal.
Because there's a dad song in it.
Yes, it is such a cute dad song.
Mm-hmm.
It was a little tear.
The dad is played by Adam Curry, who
didn't know that.
Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Yeah,
The Butler in Clue.
Dang, hysterical.
The what's
Donnie?
the wild kid's name? That is the bass guitar player for the Red Hot Chili Peppers. Lee. Yeah. Go figure.
So I watched that. Haunted Mansion. I'd never seen the Haunted Mansion before.
The one with Eddie Murphy?
I'd never seen it.
I haven't either. Any good?
It was very good. Very funny.
Gotcha.
I laughed a lot watching
Plus,
that.
I'm sure.
It's on Disney Plus. Mm-hmm. Watched this TV show. So I binged it yesterday. It is called Over the Garden Wall.
Okay, I saw that. What's that on? Netflix?
It is on Hulu and HBO Max.
Hulu. Gotcha.
And man, it was really good. It's very autumnal. So there's 10 episodes and it's about 11 minutes per episode. And it's very like autumn vibes. It's these two brothers, Wirt and Greg. And they, because remember, I freaked out about it when I saw you, when I was with you at the Comic-Con, because there were a couple people who were dressed like Wirt and Greg.
Yeah, but I had no clue they were.
And but I was like, Wirt, Greg! And they would, and
yes.
It was, and man.
That even happened since we've met.
Yeah.
We had a comic convention. Anyway, keep going, Hannah.
Yeah. So that was really fun. I really, really enjoyed it. It was cute until it got spooky. So perhaps for older kiddos. And here's the thing. Even if you're a grown-up and you haven't seen it, watch it, man. It was really good.
Gotcha.
There's some good stuff that happens in it.
Okay.
And it's a story, and the story ends.
Okay, there's an ending. That's nice. Oh, this is sort of has to do with binging, but not. Okay. It's sort of a comic book thing. Remind me, Stranger Things comic book information.
Okay.
Remind me about that.
Okay. I'm done.
So,
that was
all right.
I mean, I've watched other things too, but those were the highlights.
I was on 2 plane trips that lasted 8 hours long.
Yeah, you were.
So I have watched a buttload of stuff lately.
Okay.
Went back and watched some old movies. I finally learned how to download garbage off of Netflix. Which, by the way, if you download
not hard.
stuff, no. But the issue is, say you download a movie, you start it and have to stop it, and then go back 2 weeks later to finish it.
It's gone.
No, it's gone. I didn't know that. I figured they gave you so many days. It's so much long after you download it.
Yeah.
After you start watching it.
And you're only allowed to download them a certain number of times.
Well, that stank. I was literally watching a movie thinking, oh my gosh, I got to finish this in 4 hours. Anyway, a good comic book movie to watch if people like comic book movies is Mystery Men. It is on Netflix. And it was I believe, a Dark Horse comic book, but it has so many stars in it. Greg Kinnear, the guy who plays Davy Jones on all those movies.
Don't know his name, but I see him in my head.
Yeah, not the guy with this beard. No, not the tentacle guy. The other guy, Barbosa. The guy who plays Barbosa. Not the tentacle guy, the Barbosa. I can't remember his name.
Yes, the tentacle man.
Because Bill Nighy is the guy who plays Davy Jones. I can't think of the dude's name.
It's Bill Nighy?
That's his name, not Bill Nye, the science guy.
No, I know Bill Nye. I know him.
Bill Nighy is the guy in Doctor Who is in charge of the art place, the art museum when they take Van Gogh.
Yeah.
And he's also
is all around me.
Yeah, him, right.
That's what you said, Bill Nighy, and I was like, no.
Not him. It's the guy who plays Barbosa. But anyway,
I'm okay.
Derek Zoolander himself, Ben Stiller is in it, Hank Azaria is in it, Pee Wee Herman's in it.
We love.
The dude from Fargo is in it. I can't think of his name either. Anyway, great movie, fun. It's PG-13. It's I love the guy from Whataburger used to be the one guy's on Saturday Night Live now. He was Fat Albert, and the other guy, they had a TV show on Nickelodeon together.
All that?
Anyway.
I don't know.
Anyway, he's in it too. The funny thing about it is Pee Wee Herman's power is he's called the spleen. He's the spleen. And you pull his finger, and guess what happens? Yeah, exactly. Anyway, so it's really funny. That's a good show to watch. The thing I really wanted to talk about that I binged is I've watched the first 3 episodes of the TV show The Foundation on Apple TV.
Okay,
so
you can spoil me.
Well, I don't want
It's
to
sci-fi, right?
It is sci-fi. If you like science fiction, I think you'll like this. If you're a fan of The Foundation books by Isaac Asimov, the same guy that wrote I, Robot.
You love those books.
Yeah, I love them. The TV show takes way bunch of liberties. Okay. Like serious liberties. I get enough. I understand changing the sex or the race of characters. I'm totally cool with that to try to be more inclusive. I mean, Isaac Asimov wrote these books back in the 50s or whatever.
Makes sense.
It is what it is.
Yeah.
And he's writing to a primarily male audience, which isn't true anymore. I get it. I'm fine with that. That's not the issue. The issue is a lot of the storyline is completely different.
Yeah.
The first episode, I was like, okay, these minor changes, I'm cool with. Because the deal with the Foundation, like the first Foundation book takes it's 55 years or almost 50 years. And, so there's a lot of stuff that you could make a TV show or write about to fill in those gaps of that 50. I mean, because the book is only it's really not that big.
Yeah, it's a long time.
But they add a lot. And the first episode, I was like, oh yeah, I'm all in. Then I watched the second episode and I was like, this is a completely different story.
Do you like it?
I do like it.
Not as a Foundation show, as a sci-fi show.
As a science fiction show.
Okay.
Yes. I will continue to watch it.
Okay, cool.
It is an adult show because there is violence. There is, hasn't been nudity that I think of, but there is adult themes and, stuff like that. But I'm not going to give it away. But there's a lot of creative differences that they take on it. So
cool.
If you are like, there are a lot of people who like, I can't believe you're changing my show. And that goes with any show or movie, or book or novel or whatever. But yeah, there are a lot of differences here. What else did I watch? I watched Mars Attacks. It's on Netflix. Awesome. I watched Captain America: First Avenger, of course.
Classic film.
And then I listened to a few podcasts, but that's it.
We love that.
I know. That's it.
Any other binging news, my dear Papa?
No more binging news. However, this is sort of a good aside to pull list. If you love Stranger Things, season 2, we saw the death of they introduced a character and killed him off in the same thing. Samwise Gamgee. What's his name? Bill? Whatever? Yeah, I think so. So they're putting out they put out Stranger Things comic books. I've collected 2 runs of those. They're putting out a new comic book miniseries, which that means it lasts like probably 4 issues. They find a map that Bill had left behind. It seems like Goonie-esque, which is hilarious because Sean Astin was in the Goonies.
Oh yeah.
So I believe that just started. I haven't collected it, but I'm probably going to try to run it down.
Did you? So because I went and watched the round tables about the making of Stranger Things and things like that, just because I never watched that kind of stuff. Season 3 was season 2 and season 1 are chef's kiss. But so they were talking to Sean Astin about the part, and he originally signed up for it and was just like, hey, I'll just it sounds like a lot of fun. I'll just do it. And how they had written that character is they were going to introduce him and kill him in the same episode. He wasn't even going to get any more screen times than
he's
one.
Fantastic.
But once Sean Astin was like, yeah, I want to do this, They were like, "Oh man,
Oh no, we got to keep him around.
oh man," and then so they rewrote him
Nice.
further into the series
The
and
Duffer
made
Brothers.
him. Yeah, isn't that cool?
That is cool.
All
right.
I love.
So anyway,
So cool.
there you go. Hannah.
Pull list.
All right. Explain it.
Yeah, so
been
a
a
pull
minute.
list, friends, is a list of comic books that you are collecting that you give to the proprietor of your local comic book shop if they favor you and enjoy your business, which I'm sure that they will if you go to chat with them. They pull the comics you're collecting from their inventory before placing them on the shelves and save them for you in a cute little stack. That way, or one, singular one. You don't have to have a stack. You can just have one. And yeah, and so they keep it, pull from their inventory so that it's ready for you when you go to the comic book store.
Awesome.
So what Dad has done for us, right,
I still did it.
is 2 Marvel, 2 DC, 2 from an independent or blah, blah, publisher, and a book of the month.
Book of the this is a book of the month.
Dad, can I tell you something before we get
yes.
started? Because it's
Go
comic
ahead.
book
And I've
related.
got news to tell too.
Okay, cool. So I had like a fall day, fun day yesterday, and me and my boyfriend Trev, we went to the comic book store.
Gotcha.
We went to
I saw
Archives.
in Bowling Green, which
We
is
went
a
to
very good
Archives in
store.
Bowling Green. It's a phenomenal store, and if you live in Bowling Green, they are having a Bowling Green comic toy and more show at the Corvette Museum Saturday, October 16th. It's $5 to get in.
Say what? Well, how did
If you want to go,
guys?
they're having it. Yeah,
Awesome.
if you want to go. So he gave me this.
Nice.
I wanted to
Shout
Dad,
out.
We have got Trev interested in comic books.
Nice.
So we went and we flipped through stuff and we
Yeah.
found him a set of like a limited run of The Conjuring and another like horror comic. Yeah, The Conjuring like Lover, I
Which
think is what
really
it's called.
big right now. Horror comics are been so good.
Horror
We've talked
comics
about
are
that.
like big right now. And so he got that, and then we bought some more like Ruby Justice League comics. We have all of
Gotcha.
them except issue 3, so we're gonna need to
Gotcha.
find issue 3. And I found the OG Elf Quests.
I know. I saw that. You sent me a picture.
I took a picture and sent it to you. The OG
From
Elf
Warp
Quests
Graphics.
were there. Yeah, like the original, and they're like huge.
Because Marvel redid them.
So I like Elf Quest for our lovely listeners is one of the cool.
It's by a husband and wife team. The Peenies, Pini, Wendy and
Richard.
yes.
Wendy and Richard. And so when I was in 5th, 6th grade, Dad collected a Mary Jane comic for me, and it was written for like girls.
It was written for young. Yeah.
Yeah, it was written
aimed
for
towards-
it was written for girls.
And the age appropriate.
Yeah. And it was canceled. And so I didn't get any more comics. And Dad was like, here's what we'll do. You can read all of my ElfQuest comic books. And Dad had them he had all of them when they were re-released from Marvel.
Every issue.
He had every issue and they were colorized.
Marvel had an imprint called Epic Comics, and it was through Epic Comics, I believe. Yeah, they
Guess
were
what-
colorized.
Guess what I have? Guess what I
Let me
purchased
see.
for myself?
What'd you purchase? Oh, a trade. Oh my gosh. Did he have that there?
I have all of them.
Nice. That's good. That's the cover too of issue 1. Hannah
is. It's
putting
the
up-
cover of issue 1.
Explain what you have there. This is not.
this-
Is this an omnibus or just
This
a
is
collected
the complete.
edition?
This is
Gotcha.
the complete ElfQuest.
So one way that you can get some comics is that once they all come out, they will bind them either paper or hardback, and you can buy the complete thing, and that's what Hannah has. So she has a softback complete, and it is 2-3 inches thick. That is huge.
It's a thick boy.
Gotcha. Well, that's awesome, Hannah.
I picked it up I saw it off the shelf. I picked it up and I held it. I just held
That's
it.
funny.
I like hugged
What is it? Like
to
a
me.
thing of Charmin toilet paper.
And
You
Trevin was
squeezed it.
like, "Are you okay?"
Yeah, it's bringing
I'm
back my
like,
childhood.
"This is my favorite. This is my childhood."
It's like the guy. It's like the guy eating the ratatouille on the Ratatouille movie. He goes, gets sucked back in, and his mom giving him. He's got that tear crawling out of his eye.
Well, Dad, my I am name My instant message name when I was in 6th grade
Wait, on Hotmail?
on Hotmail
Was what? This
was
is scary.
Lita because of this comic.
Oh, gosh, that's
Changed
terrible.
my the princess name. Nobody knew what it meant or what it was, and I'm sure every person I interacted with was like, "Hannah is weird."
Yeah. No, only the people not in the know who don't appreciate good comic books.
But I got it.
We're trying to change that. We are on a mission to change that.
Look at it. It's beautiful. Look at how big it is.
I remember that is huge. I remember in high school we were given extra credit if we could bring in any piece of literature that had a Shakespearean allusion in it. And I brought in an X-Men comic book where Wolverine says that he was hoist on his own petard. And my English teacher, God rest his soul, he's the best English teacher I ever had, Otto Emmelhines, he said, that's not literature, and wouldn't give me extra credit because it was a comic book.
Well, and Dad, and like, so we went and we got and so I got this, and Trev got a stack of comics, and he is like reading like Watchmen, and I let him borrow Homesick Pilots.
I have all the Watchmen's.
I know. I told him that you have all of the OG Watchmen's, and he was like, you can borrow my trade after I'm done. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, nice. So two bits of comic book news. Okay. I had to switch stores because my store isn't around anymore. So I'm now with Heroes Realm in Lexington, and so I haven't been able to get comic books.
Have we been to that one?
I don't think you have. It's the closest one to us. It's right off of anyway. Okay. So I got 2 weeks worth of comic books today, and I haven't even read them yet.
Hey, we love that. And so they saved them for you?
They did. It's a hidden, it's a learning process. They gave me books I don't normally collect, and then missed one or two, but that's fine because we're starting to learn it.
You're entering into a new relationship with them, and like any new relationship, there will be some missteps.
There will be, and you have to, but it's totally cool.
Learn the dance.
Mm-hmm. One of the books that they didn't order for me because I had to tell them, I had told them I wasn't going to start until this week, but I had to actually start 2 weeks ago. They actually was able to reorder it and get it in for me this week. So there's a couple that I got to try to run down, just like you and Ruby issue 3. But that's cool. It's fun. It makes it fun that way. Also, I was in Hawaii, and
there was a comic book store there.
There on the big island of Hawaii, there is only one comic book shop. And so, like, if you live in Kona and you want to collect comic books, you have to drive an hour and 45 minutes to get to a comic book shop. Yeah, it's pretty far. And are you ready for this?
Yeah.
They don't carry DC Comics.
Really?
No DC Comics. It had to do with the way they DC stopped changed their distribution a couple years ago.
Makes sense.
And they just stopped. So, but I was able to pick up a store specific variant. So what happens sometimes is a comic book company puts out comics, and if a store orders so many or they pay them so much, they will make it a variant cover only for your store.
Which one?
You've never heard of him. This guy does spoof Winnie the Pooh comic books. His comic book is called Do You Pooh. Okay?
Do you poo, Dad?
So this comic book has Winnie the Pooh on the cover as Deadpool, with reinventing the Amazing Spider-Man, the Amazing Fantasy cover, the first appearance of Spider-Man, and he's carrying a guy reading a comic book called Do You Pooh, and he says, "I enjoy comics," which is the name of the comic spot, and the guy says, "Me too." So yeah. So I got that. I bought that. They only made 25 of them, and I got 19 out of 25.
You are unique in the world, my dear Papa.
I know. But anyway, that was cool. So, hey, if you got a comic book shop around you, be thankful that you have one, because honestly, if you wanted to collect comic books, out of all the islands of Hawaii, only 2 islands have comic book shops on them.
I walked to my local comic book shop.
Yeah. There you go. And I gripe because now the closest one to me is 35 minutes away. But anyway, here's what we're going to do. Let's go through them quick because we're really talking a lot.
Well, we haven't done this in a minute.
I know.
It's
I
good.
know.
It's okay to have a long episode every now and then.
So these are books that I really enjoyed. Not the last 2 weeks, but 2
this
weeks
over
prior.
the month. Okay.
Yeah. Well, not over the month because I haven't even looked at the books for
Because
the
you
last 2
haven't,
weeks.
yeah, because you were gone on vacay. Sorry, Mabby.
I was
I'm
gone.
with you.
I only read one new comic book the whole time called Frontiersman, issue 1 by Image. Really good. I would suggest it. But that's the only new book I've read over the last 2 weeks.
Okay.
So we're going to just hop in. My one of my independents is by a company called Dynamite. Dynamite is known for licensed material. So like, Mars Attacks. I collected a Mars Attacks one. John Carter, Red Sonja.
Okay.
But this is, we talked about how DC Comics was doing Superman 78 and Batman 89.
Yes.
The stories that follow right after the movie. Well, Dynamite is doing one called Army of Darkness 1979. So it follows the Bruce Campbell's character from Evil Dead 2, Army of Darkness. And he's got a show and everything, the Evil Dead TV show or whatever. So it follows him like after he just comes back from Army of Darkness. And it is a mixture between Army of Darkness movie and the movie The Warriors, which is a fantastic movie about gangs in New York.
Cool.
If you've never watched the movie The Warriors, I suggest it. It is rated R. And what happens is a gang lord wants to bring all the different gangs together to make one gang, and somebody kills him and frames another gang, and they have to get back to their home turf. So it seems an awful lot like that, but Army of Darkness 1979, yeah, I'm going to get it. It is so fun. My first Marvel book is called Dark Ages, issue 1. This is I think sort of like a what if type book. It is not what if. It doesn't say what if, but it's written by Tom Taylor, the same guy that did Deceased and is writing Nightwing that I love so much. This feels like his Marvel take on the Deceased, but instead of zombies, what happens is there is a creature that is a machine that's reawoken at the center of the Earth's core. They create a team to go to stop it from destroying the Earth.
Okay.
And what happens is Doctor Strange creates a portal to this world that lets out like a huge EMP. You know, the pulse, like if you watch The Matrix, you let that and it kills all the machines. Well, this portal opens, stops the machine, but Doctor Strange is killed, and the machine, that portal is open at the center of the Earth. So now there is no machines on planet Earth.
That's a bad thing.
But so what you're seeing
Dark
is
Ages. I get it.
Yeah. So like Spider-Man, like anything mechanical stopped working. Like Spider-Man is trying to shoot and his web shooter won't work. So like Iron Man, the comic book, it just sets up that premise, and then it's like 5 years later, and there's like a steampunk Iron Man.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So this is going to be one of my faves. So I definitely.
How would that work for Iron Man, because he doesn't run on electricity?
Well, anything electrical. Yeah, he does. He uses that arc reactor or whatever.
Is that electricity?
It's electric.
Man, this shows you how much I understand how the light bulb in my house works. I have zero comprehension.
Okay, you need help with that. Big thing going on in Batman world right now. It's called Fear State. We have mildly talked about this, but they put out a book called Fear State Alpha, and it sets up the Batman and all their books, the Batman, Robin, Nightwing, Catwoman, Harley, all the Bat family books are all talking about Fear State, which has to do with the Scarecrow. And we talked a little bit about Future State. How there was a new
We talked a lot about Future State.
How the magistrate, and they keep aiming towards. So this is the build up to where Future State becomes real.
Okay, love that.
So yes and no.
Okay,
the issue is the guy who's been writing this, James Tinian, we might have talked about this, is literally like after he's done with this, he's leaving DC.
Oh, so he's like 10 out of 10 done?
And he's writing his own, the demise of the DC, basically.
Cool.
So we're going to get I can't wait for it, honestly. Yes. I don't know. I hope it's not that. I hope it's just like, this is how badly it's been run or whatever. I've had an issue with this all along. I feel like the whole the future state thing was like,
yeah, you thought it was lame.
They're pigeonhole everyone into going in towards that area, which is why we like other books anyway. So I've loved the Suicide Squad books. I've talked about that. So in the last couple of issues of Suicide Squad, it reintroduced one of my favorite characters from DC that most people don't know about called Ambush Bug. Ambush Bug was a fourth wall breaker. Explain fourth wall breaking.
Fourth wall.
Hannah.
So when you are like watching, so say you like go see a play and everybody is there on stage doing their thing. So it's like three, like the two wings and the back. Those are the three walls. Mm-hmm. The fourth wall is in between you and the people that are acting in the play. And so to break the fourth wall would be a person in the play pausing what they're doing right now, turning their attention towards the audience and directly speaking to the audience. So good, like if you have watched like Fleabag or Deadpool,
mm-hmm.
They do. Fleabag is if that's on Amazon, is Amazon original, is for grown-ups. It's for grown-ups. So is Deadpool.
So is Deadpool.
Deadpool is for grown-ups. And that's like when they like stop what they're doing and talk to the audience as if the audience is actually there.
Ambush Bug was a fourth wall breaker before Deadpool was ever around. And
cool.
Ambush Bug is sort of, his ability is teleportation, basically. And he's always getting into trouble. He's very mischievous. So he's like a PG Deadpool. He doesn't kill people, though. I mean I loved Ambush Bug because he was just funny. He was lighthearted, funny, and did silly things. So Amanda Waller has kidnapped. He's using Ambush Bug because she needs a teleporter. So the funny thing in this comic book is that she has all of the Suicide Squad in this virtual reality thing, and they don't know it. Ambush Bug knows it, and he tells them all. And it's so funny. But like the cover for issue 7 of Suicide Squad, even if you don't like, just get the issue, just for the cover. So
it's Suicide Squad issue 7.
Yeah, his outfit is hilarious. Like he's got a fly swatter, a hair dryer, a fork, spoon, knife, a cassette player. He has a Batman mug taped to himself. Insect repellent. Funny. Anyway.
Is he an actual bug?
I don't know what he is, honestly, but he dressed like a bug. Yeah, okay. He's green with like antenna. Yeah. So my last Marvel book is Amazing Spiderman. And just because the Sinister War and Amazing Spider-Man, the creator, Nick Spencer, his run's over. Actually, it's over after I read this issue that I just picked up.
What issue of Amazing Spider-Man?
75. I'm actually missing issue 74. I'm going to have to go back and get it. But you get all the reveal. It's who was actually Gwen Stacy is in it. She's not dead. Mephisto created robots,
of course he did.
He created clones of Gwen and Harry Osborn and Doctor Strange. And anyway, yeah. Long story short, that story is coming to an end, and we get a new creative team starting issue 76. So there you go.
I found the cover of Ambush Bug.
It's cute, isn't it?
It's really cute.
With him saluting in
With
the
him
task
saluting,
force
and he's got his.
Yeah, it's cute.
It's cute. A hair dryer. He's got a diffuser on it.
I know, that's funny. So my last book, not my book of the week, but is an issue 1.
Okay.
It is by Image Comics, and it's written by Jeff Lemire, the same guy who did Descender, which we will talk about. Which we'll talk about.
I like it.
Yeah. Okay. It's called Primordial. This book takes place in the 50s. All the world has shut down their space program because the animals they sent out never came back.
What came back?
They died or they didn't come back, something of that nature. They just I don't know, like they were destroyed or whatever. So they just shut it all down, and it follows a guy who's in the midst of shutting it down. He is African American in the 50s. So there's that issue. But at the end, I really am going to spoil it, because at the end of issue 1, I don't know if you know that, we sent up a monkey and Russia sent up a dog.
Yeah, and
right?
the dog was a dog was sent up
So
there.
the monkey is floating through space, and you see like a portal opens and the dog walks out and speaks to the monkey. So
Man,
this is going to get, who
I'm
knows
just
what's
saying,
going to happen.
that dog died.
No, not in this. He didn't die. So
I mean, the one that they sent up to be a part of the satellite, they sent a dog up.
no, he came back alive.
Then the Russian
He's dead
satellite
now
dog?
because
I thought he died after 5 days of being in the satellite.
Oh, maybe. I thought he came back to Earth. I don't remember. I don't know.
I don't think he did.
I'm not here for that. I'm here for comics and my book of the month.
Book of the month is a book of the month. The book of the week. It's now the book of the month.
Fantastic Four issue 35.
Of course it is.
60th anniversary. It was $10. It is super thick.
Are you kidding?
No, it is super thick. It was
Issue
worth it.
35.
And let me tell you why. Because what they do is they tell a story, and if you want info on Kang's character, who's going to be a huge part in the upcoming Marvel movies we know, this is a good place to start. Because what happens is this is a jaunt through the Fantastic Four history with all the iterations of Kang. So there's Kang, Immortus, Scarlet Centurion, Ramatut, which is like the first time he's introduced is in the Fantastic Four. And they go back and they have to defeat and get something from each one of the iterations of the Fantastic Four.
Cool.
The cool thing in this is that when one of the Kang characters goes, there is a recreation of a comic book cover set in that period.
Oh, that's
the same type of art style. Yeah. So and there's a backup story where they fight the Mole Man, which was their first villain.
That's sweet.
It's a really good book. It's a must read for any comic book fan. Yeah.
That's sweet.
Hannah, we are just talking away.
Well, we hadn't done this in a while, so I figured this was going to be a
know.
longer episode than usual. It's fine. It's not a big deal.
Yeah. This was
Do
a
we
bummer.
wanna
I'm now
do-
realizing more comics that I'm missing, so I'm going to have to go back and write those down.
Do we want to do Descender Tin Man, or do we want to do Ted Lasso first?
Let's do Descender.
Okay. So Descender Tin Man is the first 6 or 7
Books. Mhm.
books.
There were 32 books in all.
So maybe it was
Written-
6, because that's 6, 32 is divisible by 6.
Yeah, I think there were 6. Written by Jeff Lemire. I can't remember the artist's name, but it's a gorgeous art.
Phenomenal art.
This comic individual series came out a while ago. And the reason I thought it would be cool to read it is because he just finished issue 18 of the sequel to that comic book run
Ascender.
called Ascender.
So
And go ahead.
I don't know. I didn't know what you were going to say. You had more background information than I do.
Talk about first the overall look of the book.
It is beautiful. The lines aren't very harsh. It's very soft. We rented it from Amazon Prime. So we rented it from
We didn't
Amazon
rent it.
Prime.
It was free.
It was free. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we downloaded
Anybody who wants to read it.
from the first book. First trade you can download. So how you can read books on that app is you can double click and it'll zoom in on each different part of the panel. So you can read each individual part of the panel and then see the page as a page.
Not from your computer, only from
Only
like
from
an
a
iPad
tablet or an iPhone or
a
something
phone.
like that.
Yeah.
And so when it was like zoomed in on the panels, you could kind of see like pencil lines.
Gotcha.
And I just, that was just so beautiful to me. Like it felt very soft.
It's watercolor.
And so, yeah, it felt like watercolor. Is it actually watercolor?
I believe it is.
Man,
I believe
it's
all
beautiful.
watercolor.
And I love watercolor as a medium. That's the medium I paint with. And it's just, it's
thought you'd
beautiful
like
to
it.
me. It was so beautiful to look at. And okay, so it takes place in the future. There's like a Galactic Committee of
Universal
Planets.
Galactic Council,
Yeah.
UGC.
Yeah. And these giant beings show up, these giant robot beings that are like as big as the planet.
Bigger.
Yeah.
Like Celestials, if you know anything about Marvel Comics.
Like a celestial, like these giant robot beings. And
like Galacticus almost.
yeah, really. And it like kills half of the population on the planets that it's at.
They wipe them of every planet.
Every planet? There were only 10.
Yeah, all the planets in the universe, in the UGC.
Yeah. And so so that happens,
They
and
were
then we
called
flash forward.
harvesters.
Yeah, we flash forward 10 years. And because those giant things that killed everybody were robots, everyone's now afraid of robots. And so all of the robots have been like taken and like melted down.
No, they called it the culling or whatever.
The culling. Yeah.
Yeah, they hunt down robots and kill them.
Yeah. And there's this guy on a mining colony, a little boy named Tim, and he wakes up and he is a robot who has been deactivated for 10 years. And he is like one of the most advanced robots. And it's this little kid, but he's made as a companion robot for a mining colony. And so he was treated like a son by this mother and they literally loved him. Yeah. And he was like, where's mom and Andy? And he's like looking for his brother and his mom. And man, it was so good. And the art is so pretty. That guy gets his arm chopped off.
Quan.
They literally like, got him.
So what happens is Quan, but in this run, they tell you that Quan's.
He's a nugget.
So here's the deal. There is a guy who's supposedly the father of modern robotics named Quan. And so when the harvesting takes place, when the big robots come and destroy over billions and billions of people, they go to him for answers. Well, you come to find out that he lied.
He's a fraud.
He stole someone else's work.
And it was from an astrological site.
Yes.
It was from an
archaeological dig. Yes, you said astrological.
Oh.
Archaeological site.
Me and my words today are really good.
They find a robot, but he uses the information from this robot from an archaeological dig to create the Tim line, right?
And he's like Tim 22 or something like that.
21, Tim 21.
Oh, and then the one that they get at the very end, Tim 22 shows
Tim
up.
22. Tim 22.
And I'm like, but who is it? What's happening?
He ain't good. He's not good.
I didn't. He looked not good. Tim 22 looked like he needs some help.
Tim 21, you quickly fall in love with this character. So
he's just a good kid.
Yeah. So what happens in the story is the head of the UGC, the Universal Galactic Council,
wants to create their own harvesters.
They want to be able to battle the harvesters if they show up again. So they get this Quan guy because this Tim came back online, and he sends the robot guy, who we find out is a fraud.
Who's a fraud.
Along with his daughter,
Telsa.
who is what, Hannah? Yeah, Telsa, who is like military genius or whatever.
She's cool. I thought this was really interesting because her name is Telsa. And they do a really
Tesla.
good job of being like, hey, we know that when you see these letters, you probably think this sound is Tesla. It is not.
It is Telsa.
This person's name is Telsa. And we're going to make this into a funny joke that lasts over 3 to 4 pages. That way, when you see these letters pop up again, your head is not going to go Tesla. It's going to go Telsa. Right. And I thought that was really clever.
Yeah. So this issue, this little mini series follows them going to try to get
Tim 21.
Tim gets captured by robot hunters and taken to a planet where they battle robots and destroy them and pick them apart. They're Driller.
Driller, excuse me.
And the dog.
Driller is hysterical.
Driller is a killer. Driller is a real killer.
That's all he says over and over and over again.
Did you catch that the dog was saying fray, 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 fray?
No.
At the very beginning, because he was busted, he had to change him because he was trying to say arf. It was supposed to be arf, 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 arf. But it was arf backwards until Tim 21 fixed him.
Right. Arf, arf.
So the Ganishans, G-N-I-S-H, they look a little weird. They are sort of like, and
They're bad
part of
mamma
the
jammas.
They don't. Yeah, I don't think they're not good with the UGC.
They bad mamma jammas. And then
that's-
the robot coalition comes to save Tim 21.
Tim 21. Yeah. The cool thing is
art.
this is all about we hate robots, and it has a great ending.
But
Tim
is like,
ending.
Tim is like, but I'm not. But like, I don't like. Everybody hates him.
You're gonna help me find my brother. Oh, but he's so nice.
And everybody
He is
like hates
so
what he
caring.
is, but he just cares so much about everyone. And I think part of the reason that he cares so much is because of his family, because part of him learning, like his like core processing was to like learn from the people around him, and the people around him loved him.
They even did him a birthday party.
They gave him, you've been with us for a year. Happy birthday. Like,
what?
Man. And so, and they like, they put him to sleep every time Andy goes to bed.
Because he wants to sleep like when
Because
Andy
he wants to sleep like his brother does. And so
Because he doesn't
turn his
need
processing
sleep.
off because he's a robot.
Yeah.
And he has
and
dreams.
wake him up when they wake up Andy.
What? His dream was creepy as heck. I actually do think it was a dream. It reminded me of iRobot.
It's really good and has a great ending.
Do you have all these books?
I have them, everyone.
Oh, I want to borrow
Andy
them.
Cinder.
I want to borrow them.
So yeah, everybody, you should read that. And like
They're
I said, it's for freezies.
Well, the first one is. You got to buy the next ones.
Yeah. All right. So we watched season 1 of Ted Lasso. I may have watched a few more.
I also
episodes.
watched a few more episodes, but I don't know where I stopped. So I just said season 1 because I don't want to get spoiled.
Exactly. So we can end at season 1. Ted Lasso is on Apple Plus TV. It just won some serious Emmys.
It won some big Emmys. It won an Emmy for Outstanding Comedy, and it won an Emmy for Outstanding Lead Actor in a Comedy.
And lead actress.
Lead actress too?
The lady
Rebecca?
who runs the Rebecca.
That's awesome.
Also, he won a Golden Globe and a SAG award or whatever.
I'm just
Jason
saying,
Sudeikis.
the writing and acting
Okay.
in this TV show is phenomenal.
If it were not for the
Cursing.
excessive language and sexual content, there is some sexual content.
Yeah.
Your mom would love this show.
Oh, 100%. Well,
But
I think part of the reason
here's
they
the deal.
curse so much is because it takes place in England.
I understand that. And Roy Kent's character would not be
Is
the same.
Hysterical.
His niece, how much money does she owe you now? Have you got that?
1,000.
That was in season 2, wasn't it? That was in season
1,000
2.
something
Sorry.
pounds.
That's in season 2. He owes her 1,000 pounds because he has to give her like a
1,000
quid
Put
every
it on
time
my
he touches.
tab.
Put it on my tab. So
Okay, so
this,
give them like what it is. What's the main
you
storyline?
do it because you told me about what it
Yeah,
was.
so the main
explain.
storyline is this man who's a Midwestern American football coach.
He wins with Wichita State in like
Yeah.
a Division 2, not
Yeah.
even Division 1.
No, is like just like a low key guy. Gets hired by a soccer club,
English
a football club
soccer club,
in England in the Premier League, which is like their bougiest
the
league,
big league, right?
to coach football in England.
Right.
And so he and Coach Beard, LOL at Coach Beard,
Gosh, this is so good. This is so good.
go to England. And the
Yes.
thing, everybody there hates him. And everybody there hates him. What you learn is that the woman who hired him, her name is Rebecca. She has just gone through a divorce.
And her husband's a butthead.
He is a
womanizer
punk.
butthead who
He
goes
is a
out with
punk.
20-year-olds. Anyway.
He's an absolute punk. And the thing that he cares about most in the world is this soccer league this club that he owns. But she gets it in the divorce. And she wants to run it into the ground. So she hires Ted Lasso thinking that he's going to ruin it. And so everybody
deal.
like hates him, but he's so positive
nice.
and caring.
kind and caring and just, I'm telling you.
Man, so
I mean,
good. I tried.
yeah.
Ooh, it's good. I don't have words to describe how good
You
it is.
can't help but love his character.
I laugh out loud every single episode.
Yeah, I do too.
Like
I'm
hysterical
chuckling.
laughter.
I'm on an
And you're just
airplane
like-
going. I can't be so loud. I'm like, and I want to stop and tell your mom about it, but I was
She's
like,
like,
oh, she just.
yeah, man. But
I know.
Roy Kent, phenomenal.
Yes.
He was one of the writers of the
Serious?
show. He was one of
Oh,
the
gosh,
writers of the
he's
show.
great.
He writes it, and then afterwards he leaves and was like, I think I'm Roy Kent. And so like puts together
I
a
hope
tape.
not.
Puts together a tape and then sends it in and says, hey, I know you're not probably thinking that I'm the person that's who this is, but I just feel like that I am. That
he's perfect.
this is the part that I'm supposed to have. And so I went ahead and did this tape. If you could just consider me for the part.
Yeah, the thing is, okay, this is on Apple Plus TV. The first 2 seasons, I think, or they drop an episode every
Friday.
so often. This is definitely for adults. And if language, they cuss a lot.
They cuss a lot.
They that use the big bad word is what they use. But like Hannah says, most of it is.
I genuinely
not
think
forced.
it's just because the
Locker
F word's
room
not
and
a
blah,
big
blah, blah.
deal in England.
Right. But there is sexual content too. Quite a bit, especially wherever Keely is around.
Keely.
And
I love
Jamie,
Keely.
Jamie, what's his face?
Jamie Tart.
Jamie Tart. Yeah.
What a turd.
So, yeah. So that's the deal. You've got, other than that, I don't know that Coach, they don't really say much. He might say a cuss word very
Coach
rarely.
Beard?
No, either one of them.
No.
Ted Lasso or whatever.
Nate does.
But Nate is English.
Nate, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It, like Hannah says, it has so many positive things in it. I can't help but they should just write a book of his philosophy.
He's so cool, and he just I was talking about this last night. The scene where they're playing darts.
Oh, I was getting ready to say that too. I
Oh
think that's in
man,
season
Dad!
2, though. Isn't
It's
it?
in season 1.
No, is it in
because
season
it's
1?
before they do the last. It's before they.
The thing is yes. So there's a scene where they're at a bar, and he and the
So
owner,
they're
Rebecca,
going
are
to meet
there.
someone who owns 2.9%. The Milk Sisters own 2.9% of the club. So they were
Yeah.
going to meet
Should
with the
I
Milk
skim the area to
Sisters.
see if they're here?
And Ted is just making all of these milk jokes.
It's terrible.
And they get there, and her ex-husband
has bought them out.
bought
No.
the 2.9% for his new girlfriend.
His new girlfriend, who's also named Rebecca.
Man.
So Ted makes a deal. I tell you what. Let's
put a
he
wager
throws
on
these
darts.
He throws these darts with left-handed. He throws some darts. Did you catch that?
He hustled him.
He goes, let's make a wager on these darts. If we'll play a game, if you win, you get to pick the starting lineup for the next 2 games.
For the last 2 games.
Last 2 games of the season. If I win, you don't come to the.
You're never allowed to come to the owner's box while
owner's
Rebecca
box.
is there.
Yes. And he goes, oh, you're on. And he goes, and then the guy's like, oh, I forgot I had these. And out of his pocket, he pulls like a set of personalized darts. And he goes, oh, gosh. And then Ted pulls a dart and he goes, oh, I forgot I was right. I wasn't left-handed. And throws. I'm like, oh, no.
So they're both hustling each other.
They both were hustling each other. But the cool part about it was they get to the end, and he's got one last throw of 3 darts.
He's got 3
and
darts. He has to get 2 20s and a bullseye.
Well, no, but he literally turns to the lady who runs the bar. Who?
Maud.
Doctor Who. You recognize her for Doctor Who?
Oh, yes. Now that you've
One of the
said
characters
that.
where they zip up and they fart all the time?
You're kidding me.
No, she's the bartender. And
I'm dead.
But anyway, he leans to her and he goes, what do I have to do to win? And she says, you need 2 triple 20s and a
bullseye.
And then he tells this whole story about the Slim Whitman quote about being curious and not judging, and how people would judge him and he would just throw and get triple 20.
And he was like, I've learned that people are more judgmental when they're less curious.
Yeah.
He's like, if you were curious about me.
You would say, I wonder if Ted ever played darts. And he goes, every Sunday since I was
From 10 to 16.
10 to 16 till my dad died. I went and played darts with him every day. And he just throws another triple 20 and then throws a bullseye. And I was like, oh my God. And it's so heart touching. He's like,
and you're just like, I'm sorry. I'll be more curious, Ted. I promise I will be.
I know. I was like, and then, he storms out and she goes, all right, we can leave. And he goes, no. He whispers in her ear, you've got to do one more.
She's like, do I have to?
And then he goes, yep. She goes, round on me.
And everybody's like, yeah.
I was like, yeah.
Man, the episode where they're like, hey, so they go to this away game and they're all at this away game and there's like bad juju that they always lose at this away game or whatever. And they're like, no, we're not going to, blah, blah, blah. And they do he's like, okay, fellas, what do y'all want to do tonight? Do you want to do a movie night or a pillow fight? And everyone's like, a pillow fight. No, everyone's like, a movie night. And he's like, well, if you pick pillow fight one time, we'll never have to do another pillow fight again. And then they go to, and you see that all of this team is all sitting down together watching this movie on a projector.
They chose to watch.
They're watching Iron Giant.
And he even said, there's going to be a whole lot of.
And then he's like, I got to go make a phone call. You need to stick around because there's going to be a lot of crying eyes here in about half an hour.
Crazy.
And he's right. That movie's so good. It makes me cry. Man, the quotes in that, Dad. The quotes in that are just so good.
So, there's so much positive. And even he has a trigger warning. He has a legit panic attack. I mean, I'm sitting there watching that going, oh my gosh. He has a panic attack at a karaoke bar. And
it is one of the truest representations of a panic attack I've ever seen on screen.
Oh, I know. I've had one.
It's one of the truly. Like, I was like, you can tell.
He gets up, he can barely leave or walk. And I thought, oh my gosh. And then somebody comes up to him and it's his boss.
It's Rebecca.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. What happened when you found out that he was the one cooking those biscuits?
I was like, of course he is. He loves everyone so much.
She tries her hardest to set him up for failure. Even Trent Krim from the Daily Independent.
And my favorite is that becomes a joke. Trent Krim, the Independent.
The Independent. He goes, Daily Bugle. Did you catch that one time?
That was phenomenal.
In the second season, did you see where he sits down? He goes, he's talking to Coach Beard, who is fantastic, by the way.
Coach Beard is a funny actor, too.
He goes, do you have a minute? Can I be real a minute? And he goes,
for just a millisecond.
Can I be real a second? She goes, for just a millisecond. And he goes, yeah, put down my beer and tell a friend how I feel a second. I was phenomenal. Like, oh my God.
Phenomenal.
And the room numbers, 5150 or 50, 55, 50, 55, whatever. And he's like, it's like an album. They set people up to do things all the time.
It's so good. And
I don't like your attitude, Nelson, and your attitude, Nelson. I think he just called us two negative Nellies.
I really love that this is like a season 2, and I'm not there yet, so I'm not there to have a professional opinion about it yet.
Oh, the sports psychologist. Sports psychologist. Heavy is the head that wears the visor.
And I am excited to see more of her.
The funny thing about that is that when it came on and I told your mom, it reminded me because you did a whole entire study on stigmatism with going to...
In the Midwest.
They said, how do you feel about psychologists?
He's like, general apprehension and a healthy Midwestern skepticism.
That's exactly how.
And I'm like... Got him.
Exactly.
The thing that killed me is that his first time in therapy was after his wife had been working with the therapist, going in to a therapy session.
He felt ganged up. The only couples therapy that I really love is where I have to buy a love fern. Which, by the way, if you realize, that's Agatha Harkness.
It is Agatha Harkness.
There you go. Harkness. She's my marriage therapist.
She's your marriage therapist. Agatha Harkness is your marriage therapist. I don't know. I'm really excited. I'm really excited about there being a sports psychologist. I'm excited to see what that's like.
She's getting closer, isn't she? She's getting closer. She keeps edging down. And at the end, she's like right in the front row. Have you noticed?
I haven't seen that episode yet.
That's when she says, heavy is the head that wears the visor.
I'm hopeful that he will feel seen by her.
She speaks all the different languages.
She speaks all the different languages. That was so dope. She was like, she was like in the French, like she was like,
Yeah.
oh, Danny Roja.
Football is life. And it is death.
Football is also death. But mainly football
But it's
is life.
life.
Danny Roja. He's just like running and dancing.
All right. Yes. So anyway, I
love it
love
so
this
much.
show.
Same.
I give it 10 out of 10, 5 out of 5. But
Oh man.
it is not for everybody because of the
cursing.
language and the sexual
There's
stuff in
nothing
it.
like
They don't show it. Well,
straight
they
up
do.
explicit.
Well, I don't know if
Maybe.
you've gotten to one episode where she's watching a video of his retirement. Did you watch that part yet?
No.
Okay. That is pretty naughty.
Man, and Roy Kent comes in with some truth bombs.
Have you seen the double date yet?
I did. He's just fine. If
He's
you wanna
like,
be with somebody
"What?
that's just fine, then
No,
go for
tell
it.
the truth. He's like, tell the truth. Yeah. He's
Man,
funny.
Roy
All
Kent
right.
is good, and
We
his
gotta wrap it up.
yoga moms. Okay, I'm
The
sorry.
yoga moms. Yeah,
The yoga
his
mom and
moms.
the sparkling rosé.
Yeah, fill that up. And he's like, what? She goes, I love Jamie Tart. He's like, fill that up for me. Yeah. He can't stand Jamie Tart.
Okay,
Anyway,
it was good.
thank you guys so much.
Yes, we're
Rambled
so
on.
glad to be back. End roll. Thank you so much for hanging with us. Our art is created by Nate. Hey, thanks for doing that for us, bud. He made that fully in Microsoft Paint. It's phenomenal. Our
Great.
music is composed and played by Brockwell Nason. Check him out anywhere you listen to your music. He's a lovely, lovely gent, and you can stream his stuff. Our podcast is edited by me, and our YouTube is edited and maintained by dear Papa. Hey, we're thankful for you, sweet friends. We've
Yes, guys.
missed hanging out with each other and with you, and we're glad to be
Yep.
back on the swing of things again.
Woohoo! And you guys, thank you. Sam, I tried to mail your book and it wouldn't allow me to do it from Hawaii. I have to do it from here. I apologize for that. If you made it to the end, it's coming.
LOL. Okay, friends, we'll see you on the
The
flippity
flippity
flop.
flop.
Bye.